Finally, I finally saw this movie. But did it change my mind about we needing another Toy Story movie? Let's talk about it. What is going on, guys? It's your boy Daily Reacts TV here, and welcome back to another movie review. Now, this is a new release, sort of not because it came out last month, but I finally came around to seeing it, and that is Toy Story 5. So the story of Toy Story 5 basically follows toys, basically learning that technology is taking over kids' time to play with toys. They're basically playing with our electronics like phones, tablets, and all that. And it got to a point where Bonnie, the kid they have now, gets a lily pad, and basically doing so, lily pad's taking over everything else. So Jesse technically calls Woody for help, saying, I'm losing Bonnie because of this device, and basically Woody does come in to help to regain his friendship, but then Jesse goes up on her merry way, and well, we all know later on, I don't want to really spoil much, but even though this movie has been out for a while, after the four incredible films that we had from 1995 to 2019, I never thought we would get another Toy Story film, basically. I mean, we did have that movie Lightyear, basically a Buzz Lightyear movie that was set in a different world, but it's the movie Andy watched, and all. But I cold-heartedly believed we weren't going to get another one. I really loved the first one. You guys know that is like one of my favorite movies of all time. I have a very big part of Toy Story is a big part of my life. I love the second film. I thought the second film wasn't better as as the first one. I thought it was really good in a way where it makes a lot of sense. The third film, at first, it wasn't really my favorite, but as I gotten older and as I put my toys out in the tote, which we'll talk about, I have more respect for it now than I did before, and it's actually my favorite out of the 5. And then you got Toy Story 4, which I watched when I was 17, and I thought it was good. I didn't think it was better than the original 3. It had its flaws. I did touch upon the flaws in my review. 4 years, oh my God, it's been 4 years ago since I reviewed Toy Story. All 4 of them, that's crazy. So yeah, I have a deep respect for Toy Story. Basically, one of the reasons is when my mom took me in and adopted me, I had 2 toys, a ripped up Barney doll and a Woody doll. I still have my Woody till this very day. He's in the storage unit in the totes with my other toys. So yes, in a way, Woody and Buzz were those characters I love so much more. And I was kind of iffy when they said that they were gonna do Toy Story 5. I was very angry. I was like, why are we doing this? Why are we milking this? This doesn't need to exist. Then the trailers came out, and you guys know I've reacted to the trailers, and it piqued my interest, even though I do like the idea of the whole toys versus electronics for it. And when I went into this movie just recently, let me just say I was a little skeptical still, but at the same time, I was excited because I've never seen a Toy Story movie on the big screen. So I went into Toy Story 5 with my family for a family movie day with so expectations. And when I came out, I will say it is better than 4. I would heavily watch this with the other 3, a lot more than I would with 4. But it still has 2 major flaws, for one. But overall, I thought Toy Story 5 was good. I think I need to do multiple viewings, though, to see if it changes my mind on a certain of those flaws, which we'll get into. But other than that, yeah, and I do want to do a spoilers review. I don't want to do a spoilers review as much right now. I mean, this movie's been out already, so there might be some sort of spoilers. But again, the movie's been out longer. One of the things I could say that I really like about the film is the animation. The animation in this movie is better than any animation. Stop it, Luna. Better than any of the animations from the previous Toy Story movies. When I say that my jaw dropped on how good the animation was, I mean it. Oh my god, the animation in this movie is flawless. Flawless. I thought the animation just really was on point with this movie. And you could tell that they took their precious time making the animation to improve on everything else. But obviously, I thought the animation was phenomenal. Another good thing I can say about the film is its characters. The toys are back, which not all of them, but you get Jessie, who has a very, very strong personality in this movie where she wants to help Bonnie make friends, because basically, if you guys don't understand, also Bonnie's having trouble making friends, so she thought maybe getting a lily pad would help. But let's be honest, it just made things a lot worse on Bonnie, which we'll get into. In the less, you know what I mean. But Jessie, on the other hand, she's grown as a character. I really didn't think she deserved the sheriff arc at the end of Toy Story 4. But as I watched this movie, she kind of deserved it a lot more. I just wish it was more developed in the other films. But other than that, I thought she was pretty decently well done. And it was great seeing her step foot and just taking the leadership of the toys in Bonnie's room like Woody did. And it was really cool. Tim Allen back as Buzz Lightyear, which we have Buzz in this movie. And one of my biggest major flaws of Toy Story 4 is that they made Buzz Lightyear an idiot. They did. But Tim Allen, I guess, also because he sounded really old. And guess what? Tim Allen, I guess, fought with Pixar and Disney to help make his voice sound younger to be Buzz. And it felt like how his voice was in the first Toy Story. And that I have a lot of respect for Tim Allen, most definitely. But Buzz himself, he's not an idiot. So he's a lot better and improved in this movie, thank God. But I just wish this was a Buzz Lightyear movie, like a Buzz Lightyear story, which we'll get into later. But I thought they improved him pretty well. I thought he was more fun in this film than he was in 4. But yeah. And speaking of Buzz, let's talk about the multiple malfunction Buzz Lightyears. They kept me laughing throughout the entire film. They made me laugh. And I'm going to be honest with you. The moment they stepped on screen in the beginning of the goddamn movie, I was like, oh no, this is going to be a good time, isn't it? And oh man, I was proven wrong. These guys kept me laughing throughout the film. I actually enjoyed a lot more of what their character arcs were like. And the fact that they didn't know they were toys until our Buzz tells him. And basically they hung Woody into where the pig would eat him, technically try to eat him. And our Buzz is like, we're toys. We're all toys. And I thought it was pretty funny though too when our Buzz tells those Buzzes that, oh yeah, Zurg is our dad. And they're all like, no. And they just kept me laughing throughout the film. And I love their techniques as well. Lilypad, I thought she was fine. I didn't think she was as threatening. I understand what she's doing, but she's in the flaw, which we'll get into, you know. And then Woody. I thought it was a bad idea to bring Woody back into this film. I thought so. But this movie proved me wrong. Woody is not the main focus. Jessie is. And as much as I love Woody, and I love that he's basically was the main characters of those 4 movies, it's great to see him take a little bit of the sideline, but at the same time, dealing with, you know, all of the scenario with Buzz while Jessie's on her own path. You know what I mean? And yeah, and a lot of people hated Bonnie. And let's get into Bonnie. I thought her character was good in this movie. A lot better than she was in 4. She wasn't really much in 3, basically, but seeing her in 5, you have a little bit of a touch on it. She wants to make friends, but she's too afraid that kids will make fun of her because she's still playing with toys. You know, and it's sad because there's a lot of kids like Bonnie nowadays that still play with toys. I mean, hell, I was a toy kid. I didn't get my first phone basically until I was 18. Nowadays, you have my little brother Hayden engaged on a phone or a tablet, or you don't see anyone playing outside anymore. It's crazy. And this movie basically shows that synopsis what Bonnie was like getting picked on playing with toys because she doesn't have a lily pad or any electronics. So they thought, I guess the parents thought, and this was a stupid part of the parents, they thought of getting her a lily pad, which honestly, great pick at the time to make this whole synopsis a thing. And I thought she deserved better. And then when she met Blaze in the end of the movie and became friends, I felt a little good of happiness for the kid. Because let's be honest, she did not deserve half of the hate in Toy Story 4. That's just me. I don't see the problem with her because she didn't like playing with Woody as much as she used to. It's because sometimes kids outgrow toys to play with other toys. I mean, hell, I didn't play with my Woody as much as when I was a kid when I had him. But guess what? He's still my favorite toy. I still love him the same with all my other toys. I mostly play with Buzz Lightyear or my Ninja Turtle toys. But Woody is the main focus of my life, and he will always be. He's like that for Bonnie, and I guess people just didn't like Bonnie because she threw Woody to the side. So, kids do that. Seriously. Kids do that. I hate it when they say stuff like this. But, yeah, I thought Bonnie was a good character. She didn't bother, like I said, she didn't bother me much in 4, as much as there was moments she got a little bit annoying about Forky, which he was barely in the movie, which we'll get into. But overall, I thought she was a fine kid. And let's just talk about this. The whole synopsis itself is actually the better story to tell in Toy Story 4 than 5, which I've already discussed it in a previous videos on both here and productions. But overall, I thought the synopsis was a great story to tell, basically with these characters. And I didn't expect more from it. I expected more. Different stuff, but they picked on it. The last thing I could say I really like about the movie, and this is the last thing I could say that I really like about Toy Story 5, and this is saying a lot, right? I do like the soundtrack in this movie. I don't like one specific song, which we'll get into, but I like the soundtrack. I've always loved the soundtrack in the Toy Story movies. I always thought the soundtrack was phenomenal, beautiful at times. This one, it has one bad song, but other than that, I thought the soundtrack in this movie was phenomenal. But, unfortunately, and this pains me to say it, there is flaws with Toy Story 5. Heavily flaws. The biggest problem with Toy Story 5 is the Woody Buzz argument of who's gonna be the deputy. Really? This is like a focus we have on the side? Why are we fighting who's the deputy? Woody, you're not Jesse's deputy. You're literally a lost toy roaming around helping Bo Peep rescue other toys. Buzz is the deputy. Why are we fighting? You guys are best friends, for crying out loud. You fought once and you fight a couple times, yes, but you don't fight over something incredibly stupid. This whole deputy part, like who fighting, who's the deputy, stupid. Absolutely dumb. I don't like that. That kind of took me straight out of the film, 100%. And I did not like, I thought it was like one of the weakest parts of the film. And I did not like that, 100%. And then another flaw, and this is, I got one more after this. Another flaw with the film, I don't like Lily Pad. She is a complete ripoff of Anxiety from Inside Out 2, which is a good film. I really liked Inside Out 2. Yeah, she reminds me so much of Anxiety, 100%. And she made me go, really? And you know who brought this up? I wasn't the only one who felt this. You know who else brought this up? The Black Critic guy. He said that Lily Pad is exactly like Anxiety. Same story, same synopsis, which, yeah, this is a major flaw. And I'm like, man, he is right. I saw it now. I saw it. And it bothered me so much, even when I got out of the theater. 100%. So, yeah, Lily Pad's more like Anxiety from Inside Out 2. And you can disagree with me all you want, but if you watch Inside Out 2 and then you watch Toy Story 5, you will understand where we're both coming from. And then my biggest flaw with the movie, and I know there's Taylor Swift fans. I do. And Taylor, my sister, I love you. I know you like this song. I did not like this song. The song that they had Taylor Swift song playing in the credits. I don't like the song. I don't think it was fit for Toy Story. I'm sorry. You had to pick anyone else, but you picked Taylor Swift. Wow. And I don't hate Taylor Swift. I think she's a good songwriter. I just don't like her song that she put in Toy Story 5. I know I'm going to get so much backlash after this. Honestly, I don't care. Like, this is what I do. I mean, my mom didn't like Obsession, but a lot of people like Obsession. So, but yeah, I don't like the song Taylor Swift put in Toy Story 5. Another big criticism of the movie is that why the other toys are sidelined in the film? That's my biggest flaw with Toy Story 4. I wish they would have fixed this because they were important in the other 3 movies, but they were just sidelined in this and they did nothing. But overall, Toy Story 5 was a surprise. I was not expecting much, but I did say this movie was a terrible idea, but now as watching it again and again, it proved me wrong for its existing. And do I want a Toy Story 6? Maybe. I wouldn't say yes, I wouldn't say no, I'm just saying maybe. It depends how many times I watch this and see what I like more about it. Because maybe my opinions will change, and yes, this movie will probably be in the best movie of the year kind of synopsis thing. But Toy Story 5 turned out to be a really good film. I really am happy that I checked this out finally, and I didn't hate it as much as I did. But as much as I didn't hate it at all. I thought I was going to, but I didn't, and I was impressed. Which is why I'm giving Toy Story 5 a very light 9 out of 10. The reasoning why I got a very light 9 is because of the whole seeing Woody back and everything, and including the film just was phenomenal, and I had a better time with this one than I did before. Overall, that is my review of Toy Story 5. Yes, Rip's right next to me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I would love to know your guys' thoughts of Toy Story 5 in the comments below. Make sure you smack the like button, also push the red button, which is subscribe. Turn on your notifications so you be notified every video that I make. Links in the description to Discord, Instagram, TikTok, Mojo Entertainment. And I'll see you guys when I watch Avatar: The Legend of Aang. That's the next review. As always, I'm Daily Reacts. Take care.